Please fasten your seatbelts.
I had 11 Olympians and over 800 national champs. And all those men, they wouldn't do half the work that she do. And I'm seeing it from the young ladies. These last 2 years, when you think about it, all the good fights is coming from the women. The guys is ducking each other, looking for the easy way. Hey. I'm telling you like it is, you know? So again, you know, this young lady done did everything I asked of her, and she did more. And I'm watching all the young ladies that's boxing now. It's like they trying to prove they better than men. Now, we knew they was kind of there, but now they showing that they mean. You know, in the old days in Philly, we call these guys crazy. And that's the way these women are. So when you go back home, speak nice to you.
Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWork Boxing. Man, how y'all doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing good, man. Man, I just wanted to do a little year in review, man. I just want to say, you know, it's been a pretty good boxing year. You know, like I said the other day, it's all in whether or not you know, you have a positive mindset or you have a pessimistic mindset as to how you see this 22 boxing year. But I could just say, man, that as of late, man, a lot of people have been exposed for who they are, man. You know, some good, some bad. You know, I think this most recent situation, man, where everybody is so quick to pass judgment. You know, I always say all the time, I'm not a knee-jerk reactionist at all. I'm really not. I'm not a knee-jerk reactionist. A knee-jerk reactionist at all. You know, I tend to let all the facts come out, then I let rebuttals come out, then I let more facts come out, and then I make my, you know, my judgment. And then, you know, then even in that, I'll decide whether or not I want to speak on or whether I need to add a 2 cents on. But I saw it real funny how, you know, a lot of people chose to, you know, with this fight coming up next weekend, a lot of people chose to, with no evidence, like, you know, the morning after the incident happened, you know, that's, you know, the fight that's actually going to take place between GTD and Hector Garcia, you know, that's the main event. But that fight is going to take place on next Saturday. But, you know, after no evidence, after the incident, right? After no evidence, so many people were so quick to get up on their high horse. You know, I've never heard so many armchair psychologists. I mean, so many people with, you know, pretty much it was a lot of projection on people, you know. And I was thinking, man, like, because I got somebody had hit me up and put me onto the information. I think it was like 3 a.m. Somebody had tagged me or put something in. I'm like, okay. But when I woke up, I already seen that it was going to be a show about it. I'm like, well, dang, if this information was just made known to the public, what are you going to have a whole show about? And all it did was really, you know, open up. It was a platform where you could go in there and pretty much just express your disdain for the young man. Pass judgment on the young man. The man, you got a scarlet letter on him. And, you know, I had said in one of my lives, you know, a while ago that, you know, as content creators or observers of the sports or fans of the sports, of this sport, you know, sometimes we gotta act like we were young before. We gotta act like we were in relationships before. I said, man, sometimes you gotta act like, you know, the reality that's going on in the real world as far as, you know, things that go on. Like, because, you know, when people think about abuse, especially in domestic abuse and all that, they always picture some dude just coming in and just going ham on his lady. That's the first image, you know what I'm saying? That's just like if you ask somebody, most people close your eyes and describe a scientist. They're gonna tell you, oh man, this is a bald-headed man with glasses and a lab coat. You know what I'm saying? You ask them, don't ask them what the skin color is, but close your eyes and you tell me when you think scientist, who do you see? And then that'll answer your question. But we had a whole lot of armchair psychologists and people saying, oh man, the young man is messy. Then people saying, oh man, you when you sleep with such and such and you do this and you got to do that, we got to be all these hindsight, armchair, Monday morning quarterbacks didn't know anything about anything but quick to pass judgment on a young man. And I said, man, y'all act like y'all ain't never been, like, I know in my culture, the black culture, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, how children are being used against the parent, what happens to these guys when children are involved, you know, especially celebrities and when they have a lot to lose and what they have to lose, you know. You always hear and see from your peers, your partners, your best friends, your brothers, your cousins, the people you grew up with, people in your high school, they all go through the same thing when it comes to somebody's going to be willing to do something, just like in a fight. Sometimes dirty fighting is everything, because in a fight, if somebody's willing to eye gouge or knee you in the crotch or put you in an arm bar and all you want to do is stand up with the ones and twos, you bound to lose. You know, when somebody's willing to do something that you're not really willing to do, especially in a fight, you're going to lose. And if somebody's willing to do the things that some women have been accused of doing to some men, you know, unfounded, society says it's quick to pass judgment. I mean, some of the content I had to unsubscribe. I had to stop watching content from some people that, you know, they just jumped out the window, man. You know, I don't really care for it. You know, I looked at them as OGs. I looked at them as like, dang, I might want to work with this person. I might want to collab with that person. I like the way they talk boxing, but they jumped out the window on the young man based on no evidence. But it's projection. It's projection. And when you're on top, regardless of whatever you want to say, because everybody wants a piece of the man, whether it's to get a payday, whether it's to see if they are the best, to see if he can knock them out, or if they can knock him out, or the first person to, that's what Ryan's on. Right? That's what Ryan's on. Ryan wants to be the first person to dismantle a tank. That's what it is. So you go, just as many people who, you know, want to see him come down and want to see them pit up against him as far as competition, or, you know, want to see how their skills match up with his, you have just as many people who want to see the man down for. Why? A lot of people deem him as a Mayweather protege. You know, a lot of people can't stand the fact that a little guy from Baltimore, Maryland, rose beyond the standards, you know, broke a lot of the stereotypes, you know, surpassed a lot of the stereotypes, beat a lot of the odds to become an attraction. And people, you know, I used to defend that whole thing about him being an attraction, but I said, man, hold on. Am I being programmed? Because what's wrong with being an attraction? In your sport, if people are willing to pay more to come see you and go and pay more and sell out in arenas from, you know, New York to Atlanta to Vegas to LA, if people are willing to do that wherever you go, they're willing to sell out. If Madonna is willing to take time out of her evening to come out to your fight, if Lil Baby's willing to walk you out, what's wrong with that when you come from Baltimore? I think a lot of people don't like that, man, but a lot of people got exposed in this whole ordeal. You know, I think a lot of people, maybe it might have dawned on some people, because I heard some people coming out saying, oh man, it's not right, and this and this and this. Only when it's time for them to choose whatever it is they want to go at him about or broadcast to the public under a magnifying glass, it's okay. It's okay. But in this instance, because they experienced something similar to what he experienced, now they got to speak on it. Nah, man. People pick and choose when they want to hate and when they want to ingratiate. They pick and choose what they want to respond to and what they don't want to respond to. I just want to have a purge tonight. You know, I want to, you know, if you got something on your chest as far as this boxing thing, something that you just want to drop off right here in 22, and we don't want to carry it over in 2023, I want to give you the opportunity to be able to do that. And I want to drop some things off, you know what I'm saying? I want to, you know, I know Christmas is over. You know, I'm not trying to play Santa Claus coming and bearing gifts. I just want to drop something on your boxing mind. You feel me? I want to drop something off in your boxing mind, and I want to just go over some scenarios. You know, I mean, some of it is the talk. Some of it is the social media. The social media climate is a place where you can get on here and you can say whatever you want. And depending on how popular you are, people will argue you down about it. Oh man, he got on there and said it. Oh man, he said he won all the smoke. Oh, but then when certain offers are being made or people are being entertained, it's, oh no, you want payday. Oh no, you a clout chase. Oh no, you just talking, you don't really want it. Oh no, I mean, I agree to all the terms, but you know, as far as the money, the bag ain't big enough. Yeah, I don't think I'm really the best. Yeah, well, yeah, you get a whole lot of mixed energy, man. So some of it is the standards, you know what I'm saying? The things that actually are happening. You know, it's old perception versus reality type conversation I always have, like pretty much all the time when I always talk about perception versus reality. You know, what's really going on versus what's perceived as being going on. I always talk about it. So in this era, you can get on social media, you can call out, you can say, oh man, they say everything but fight. But as an A-side, you never send a contract. As an A-side, you never make it happen. You never take initiative. You could do that on social media and you get all the praise, all the glory. You could talk about sparring, like when it comes to, you know, let's just say somebody else's opponent. Mind you, when you don't have a fight, you can get online and you can tell the world and you can do interviews and say how you beat the shit out of another ops opponent. And just carry on. If everybody give you credit for it, right? But then when another fighter say, oh man, hey, show the footage when we spawned. And when your promoter is asked, he said, oh man, I don't have time to go way back when. But you got time to go way back when it comes to Tank. Man, I draw a lot of parallels, man. Sometimes I just like to just drop something out there, man, because we live in a mixed world, man, a mixed reality, man, where, man, it's a lot of perception versus reality going on. And I like to point it out, you know. We also have a double standard going on about when people move up and how people move up. Because let me put it like this. Look, Earl Spence has not made Undisputed, right? He's one belt shy of making Undisputed, right? He has 3 of them things. He waiting to get the 4th one, right? Which requires a dance with whoever holds the WBO, who happens to be Terrence Crawford right now. Right, his stablemate, who shares Loving Him Forever, BodyWork. What's going on? Salute. But he shares a stablemate with his personal trainer. They have the same personal trainer, right? And beyond reasoning, beyond anything, first of all, people are clamoring, or people are giving more fuel to that fight, right? Mind you, the minute I heard Jermell Charlo, out of respect for him being an undisputed champ at 154, I gave him, you know, the grace of actually saying, hey man, I broke my hand, put out an x-ray, and I'm gonna say, you know what, right now, hey, I'm gonna give Jermell Charlo all the time he need. You know what I'm saying? If anything, every time I mention him, I'm just bigging him up. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, encouraging. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, saluting him for what great feat he was able to do and being the 7th undisputed and number 7, right? But he got a broken hand. But people actually put energy into trying to make a fight between Earl Spence and Jermell Charlo. Now, This is where the double standard comes in. This is where the compromise comes in. I would love to know where everybody stands on which side of the fence of this issue do you stand? Because the people that are putting energy behind this one, they can never answer the question about Derrick James. Why would you want, especially with, he got trainer of the year this year. He was on mine, and then lo and behold, you know, he was on everybody else's. I put out a video, you know, saying he was on there, you know, just like Caleb Plant and, just like Lubin and Fundora was my fighter of the year, and PBC came out and announced 2 days ago that they were their fighter of the year too. So I kind of be on it a little bit, you know, I be paying attention, man, and I just love watching the sport, man. So I be active and communicating about it. But these people who would actually want to see this fight give no credence to the fact that neither one would be with their trainer, Derrick James, who's a common denominator in their success, along with the young pup turned into dog, Frank Martin, the ghost. Right? People are clamoring for that fight, right? But guess what? Nobody is talking about, oh man, when Earl first move up. Checkmate. Is that a checkmate? Nobody is saying when Earl Spence go up to 154. Oh, from his first fight up. For my first fight up, I wanna. Ain't nobody saying that when it comes to Earl Spence. That first fight up. Oh yeah, just to get accustomed to the way. Nobody's saying that when it comes to Earl Spence. However, when it comes to Devin getting ready to go to 140, oh man, for his first time. When it comes to Shakur being there, oh man, for his first time. Nobody's saying that when it comes to man down. It's different out here. That's why I say, man, when it comes down to the actual being undisputed, I put the undisputed that Jermell Charlo have above the undisputed that I put Devin Haney in. And I found myself yesterday going back and forth online. I thought I was getting somewhere, right? The dude he waited real long before he really showed his panties, and he called me a girl at the end of the day because he lied and said that Devin beat champions to get his undisputed. I said, man, stop it. He beat one champion to get his belt, and he defended against that same champion. He did not fight champions. I said Jermell Charlo fought champions. Earl Spence fought champions. Neither one of them fought one champion to get their undisputed. And Earl still got one more to go, so he's 3/4 undisputed right now. It's only one other dispute. The guy who has the other belt. We waiting on that fight. But in regards to talking points, and when you start really getting down to the nitty gritty, people getting their feelings. I said, man, because at the end of the day, I was saying, look, man, the footage came out with Devin and sparring, and I got a whole theory about sparring. I thought it was supposed to be like Vegas, in which what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So what happens in sparring should stay in sparring. I thought that's what the case, but we let this young man just get away with it right now. It's being so messy. I don't know how you don't have a fight on deck. You don't have nothing signed. You crying. You're crying about Lil Loma making you wait, but then you talking about another man's opponent right now and talking about how you kicked him out. So the footage came out. And I was saying, I'm waiting for the footage where Hector Garcia stuck the joint up and Devin Haney kicked him out. I was waiting on that. So I'm going back and forth. I'm saying, well, I'm still waiting for the footage. He didn't do anything special. The needle didn't move. Oh, man, he's dominating everything. I'm thinking, like, dominating how? Like, as in the same dude, Keyshawn Davis, the same guy, Burgos, who he went 8 rounds with, Devin Haney went 12 all 12. When does he separate himself? When is it ever a clear total separation? But when you have these talking points, oh man, you just got something. No, people don't like the truth. People don't like the truth. And I was watching something, man, it hurt my heart, man. I was watching something about the locks and the D block and the J Hood thing and all that, man, and that Jay Jerkin skit, man, that was really true, man. They really Jay Jerk Hood, but on the face card and the premise of who the locks are and how we grew all up to it, man, a lot of people was offended about it. A lot of people was upset about it. I'm like, man, hold on, the truth came out that they really Jay Jerk that man, but the people don't like that. They don't like that. Whether it should be magnified and all that and how long ago it was and whether you're trying to re-spark it or regain whatever, that's a whole different story, but that's neither here nor there. But it's just like when it comes down to the truthful information, the facts, the reality and not the perception, people don't like that truth, man. And the truth is a lot of people jumped out of the window on Tank but they believe any and everything that Devin Haney says. So even when somebody like Devin Haney is speaking on something like sparring from years ago, who it's okay to talk about Tank, but when it comes to Kid Austin, oh no, you don't got time to go way back. So that's okay to talk about sparring, right? It's okay. But then without any proof, without anything going on to actually make you say, you know what, yes, he did it. You know, a lot of people jumped out the window on Tank, man. It's a lot of double standards, man. I just want to know, do y'all want to purge that this year? You can do that this year. You can drop that off. You can put that shit in the trash can this year. We can get rid of that, man. We got to keep it even Steven, man. We got to have a standard, man. And so if nobody's talking about that, if you did a video, and I know I ain't going to get no likes, but if you did a video on how you want Errol Spence to fight Jermell Charlo moving up right now, if you did a video right now, I don't ever want to hear you talk about Devin Haney in his first fight at 140. I don't ever want to hear you talk about Shakur Stevenson in his first fight at 135. I don't want to hear it because it's a different standard when it comes to these different boxers. And I'm waiting for somebody to tell me when I'm lying. I like them all for different reasons. I got my boxers to watch. I'm still adding on. I got some specials coming out on them, but I watch them and I look at their strengths. I look at their weaknesses. I see what they do good. I see what they do bad. I look at them from inside the ring to outside the ring. But when I have conversations, I keep it 100. You can't tell me that you so greedy as a fan, you would want Errol Spence to move up to 154 and fight Jermell Charlo right away. Let alone, okay, the fight would be good, but then neither one would have the trainer. Neither one of them would have the benefit of Derrick James. Neither one of them would. But it's okay now that Shakur and Devin can't fight right now, and that needs to wait. But nobody's saying nothing about Earl moving up right away and fighting Jermell Charlo, even though Earl would do it. Earl would do it. But it's a different standard because when Devin moves up to 140, it's all, man, yeah, you know, to get his feet wet and to see how he do and how he acclimate. When Shakur now he at 135, it's all, man, well, for my first fight up, it's like, no, I had your back. I had your back when Isaac Cruz was ducking you. I was like, oh man, we might have to change his name to Isaac the Poodle. You know what I'm saying? Then I had to look at it from a business aspect and say, you know what? Isaac Cruz, he only wants Tank or Devin because he's thinking like anything below that. And that's the defense of his team. Okay, whether I agree with it or not, it just sounds good. I mean, if I had to put something on it, it just sounds good that's what he's waiting for. Which, as a guy who's been in the ring and win a full 12 with Tank, you know what I'm saying? I say, okay, cool. As a guy who got his eyes on the prize in Devin, I say, cool, because I would love to see Pitbull fight Devin. Probably not going to happen. But I bought into that, okay? So then when it went down to Williams Zepeda, I was like, oh, okay, well, Williams Zepeda. And then Williams Zepeda said, no. I said, oh, man, Shakur out here playing Pac-Man. Did a whole video about it. I said, man, why not Devin right now? If Loma making them wait, Shakur's available. He already got turned down by the Poodle, and he got turned down by Zepeda, who beat JoJo. So then JoJo say, all right, well, cool. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Didn't know what had happened with it, you know. And then we heard about, we went on to hear about some other fighters, you know, ultimately Frank Martin and, you know, and I'm like, okay, we can't get the Devin fight. Because everybody say it's too soon. That's a whole double standard right now. Because if you got Devin and Shakur on your pound for pound list, but they can't fight right now with neither one of them having a fight date right now. Neither one of them got anything signed, sealed, and delivered right now. Tank got 2 on that. Neither one of them we have no energy for that fight, and we push energy and we say that that's okay for later, but the same people that drive these narratives come out and do videos about how is it fair for Errol Spence to say, nah, bud, you ain't fighting Jermell Charlo? They swing the goalpost that way and try to put it on some old, because he has a right as a man to be able to say that. Mind you, the man had a broken hand, so that's already off the table as far as Jermell Charlo. He got a broken hand, but they put more energy in the fact that Earl said, nah, bud, you don't fight me, you can't fight him. They put it on some old foo type stuff, talking about, oh man, does he really get to say that? Is he protecting him? The man got a broken hand. It's already off the table. They have no energy because neither one of them guys got to fight right now, and they got no energy to try to make that fight right now. And they giving Bud all kind of excuses, all the bigger bag. Okay, well, you ain't got your bigger bag. And I gave the example about how Castano won his belt from Chisera, came right on in. Paul Butler won his belt, came right on in, fought in away right away. Caleb Plant, Ginger left him at the altar and then came back, but Caleb Plant came in right away with his belt. We have not the same energy for Bud at the end of the day. So then I say, you know what? I'm so tired of talking about, how and why I think Earl beat Bud, or the advantages I think Bud have over Earl, or the mismatch I see in Spence over Bud. So I said, you know what? What about, let's talk about the trainers. Let's look at the trainers. And that's why I keep bringing it up about the energy, about how people would want to see Earl Spence move up right away and fight Jermell Charlo, who they share the same trainer, right? So nobody's saying that, on his first maneuver from 147 to 154, because, and what they say, because he already been talking about how hard it is to make weight. But it ain't the same when it comes to Devin. It ain't the same when it comes to Shakur. Because they both said the same thing. They both was on record saying how hard it was to make weight. And then we give some kind of excuse for both. So with Shakur being in 135, we giving an excuse, for his first time up. Nobody's doing it with Spence. And we even going to, I've heard that when Devin go up to 140, he's going to be aiming at T.O. Why? When he can take and do what he said using his belts, because he could call Suleiman up right now and get Regis right away. Regis ain't got to fight right now. Devin could go fight him right now. So I said, look, Devin, you the cream of the crop. You the best thing since sliced bread. You beating the shit out of people in sparring. Go get you some Regis smoke. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Or you can go right there on your side of the street, in your same division now, and you can fight your fellow, because everybody got both of them on the pound for pound list. You can fight your fellow stablemate, label mate, and weight division, under the top ranked banner. Y'all can fight right, not the same energy. Are we gonna drop that shit off in 2022? Regardless who I think, are we gonna drop that shit off right here in 2022 before we go into 2023? That's what I want to know. That's what I would love to know. These double standards, I point them out all the time, man. I point them out all the time. So if you get in the ring, this is the other one that we got to do. If a boxer gets in the ring, because that's what we grew to love him for, right? If he get in the ring and after the fight, he get on there and he says he wants to fight this champion. So if I win, right, and I get in the ring and afterwards I say I want Mike Tyson next, we gotta honor that. That's more than anybody can say on the internet. That holds way more weight than anybody can say on the internet. Way more. Way more. And we gotta stop this, like what happened with Keyshawn, right? We get so high because, mind you, Keyshawn did not stop Burgos. Yes, Devin Haney went 12 rounds with it, but the separation between Keyshawn Davis and Burgos for him to get Prospect of the Year, I heard somebody gave him Prospect of the Year. For him to get Prospect of the Year, I would have liked for him to stop that guy. Because, you didn't get the 12 rounds, you got the 8, but this was years later. You should have stopped him. But then after that, so before that, it's, I'm just 6 fights in, and when it was talking about Martin, it's like, let's go. But over there on the PBC side, they let Frank Martin and Michelle Rivera get it on right away. And for some reason, PBC is also being to blame as to why these big fights, and I don't know how, because they have the history of making the biggest fights. I don't need to go down the list, because if you're over here rocking with your boy, you know that, yes, casuals get information here, but I cater to my hardcore. Salute to the kidneys. But are we going to drop some of this bullshit off in 2022, man? Can we drop it off? I'm asking you, you know what I'm saying? Can we drop some of this bullshit off, man? If you just got exposed for all the hate you have in your heart for Tank, can you just drop that shit off? We're going to, remember on what was that, Bad Boys, when he said, look, man, we're going to take my mom and what happened to my butt. We're going to take that, we're going to put that in a little box, and we're going to tuck it away, and we're never going to speak about that again. Can we do that with some of this shit, y'all? Can we leave sparring in sparring? Can we hold these boxers accountable for what they get in the ring and say when they inside the ring? When they get in there and they say, you know what, I want Devin Haney next. Can we listen to them, or we just gonna listen to the ones that we think is acceptable for Devin to be able to fight? Are we gonna reason our way out of everything as to, oh man, it's first time moving up? Because mind you, if you did a video saying that you would love for Spence to move up right away and fight Jermell Charlo, lower your motherfucking tone when you talk about me. Especially when you talking about Devin Haney and what he got going on, and Shakur what he got going on. Because it ain't the same energy. It's a checkmate. Don't be having time to entertain none of that. And if we stuck to our guns more in this boxing, and we really did this on a fight-by-fight basis, on a fighter-by-fighter basis, if we judge them circumspectly, and we said, okay, well, yeah, this do make business sense. And yeah, we could, because we pushing as a fan, you would have a lot more content to go by. You would get a lot more interviews. There will be a lot more to report on. But instead, you start a narrative, you feed it, you clothe it, you give it shelter on your platform, you wash it up, you nurture it, you doctor it up, then you spread it like a germ. And people run with it. Fighters get to believe in it. They start acting on it. And now they think they're above a fight that can happen right now. That's how it happens. That's how it happened, y'all. So if you did a video out there shitting on Tank, you know what I'm saying? You did a video out there shitting on Tank in that moment when you didn't have shit to go by and you just had egg on your face. Man, you need to do a whole video, man. You need to send the Rise and them some bread. You need to donate. You need to do something, man. If you just got exposed, man, hey, come on and do a video just as loud and bold. You know what I'm saying? And say you were wrong. Do it. But y'all ain't gonna do it because it's all about the likes, the clicks, the views. I told y'all. That's the same thing Tank said. He said it's all about the likes, clicks, and views. It's a business to y'all. No respect for nobody in their personal life. Everybody quick to pass judgment. Everybody quick to give Dev the benefit of the doubt. It's two different standards. And then I heard that Bill Haney said that he wished Tank would have stayed in jail. I'm like, man, I'm so done with talking about that clown. Can we kill that bullshit in 2022? You know, can we kill that? Because I said he got to wear different hats, and I respect it. So as a father, you can't knock it. As a trainer, you can have criticism. As a promoter, if all these other promoters, if people are doing videos about Eddie Hearn and, you know, and Top Rank and, you know, and Al and Floyd, then yeah, he gonna get the same criticism as a promoter for some of the things that he say. Pocket watching. It's okay when he pocket watching. People give him platforms to ridicule and insult, to pocket watch, and then get mad at a fan for calling in talking about it, saying, oh man, that's all you do is pocket watch. Me, I never talk about another man's numbers. I don't talk about another man's numbers. What I look like? I look like talking about another man's numbers, man. It's like the Joker on Batman. He said, never rub up against another man's rhubarb. I never talk about another man's numbers. What I look like? Bill Haney? Fucking clown, man. Let's get rid of some of this clown behavior, man. I don't care what faction you with. You shouldn't have to be clicked up and all part of a big ass hypocritical boxing community to where your affiliation with them don't allow you to actually speak the truth. If somebody's speaking the truth, they don't gotta rock with you. That's what's going on with that's called politics, man. Once you get to saying, oh man, I can't say nothing about this because I don't want to offend this person, and then you push narrative and then you ignore something that's blatantly obvious and factual right in front of you, you ignore it. Like when you can't do that. I say silence is consent, man. One of the hottest people doing it right now, man. Because when I was doing it, it was considered malicious, and it was, oh man, you a hater, you go out of your way. When I've been outlining all this stuff about Bill Haney, Marty the manager is doing it now, exposing everything about Bud. He's getting a lot of love. So it's really all about popularity, you know what I'm saying? Either way, man, whether the truth is pretty or ugly. You gotta respect it. If we're gonna go anywhere in this boxing community, man, and we're gonna have anything, you know, if we're gonna get the fights, you know what I'm saying? Because think about it, man. It could have been a potential for George Kambosos to come to Baltimore and fight. He said he would do it. But guess what people did? They shitted on Kambosos, you know what I'm saying, and you know, kind of like devalued him and said he wasn't this and this and this. He was able to pull it off against T.O. T.O. had a bad night. Devin went over there and beat him twice. They don't make him a bum. He still beat T.O., so what's some triangulation? Devin ain't beat Loma or T.O. or Comey or Nakatani, and he get all the praise, all the benefit. Make it make sense. But when you devalue fighters and everybody that's on your opposite, they ain't nothing and they ain't this, and everybody's opponent ain't this, and you ain't did nothing. Damn near the whole first half of your career, you was fighting motherfuckers in Mexico. You was knocking the beans out of them cans, huh? It don't make no sense, man. Like, it's a double standard. We got to drop it off in 2022 and have a better 2023. But there has been some good things, man. I think Alicia Baumgartner came into her own. You know, Clarissa Shields, triple undisputed. What is she doing for, you know, the young women in boxing, man? The little baby girl just looking up and saying, oh, man, look at this champion. She's an Olympian. She done got undisputed. She can spar with the men if she wanted to. You know, we got big fights on deck. We got Caleb Plant getting the knockout of the year. You got Derrick James getting, you know, coach of the year. You know, you got the rise of Jared Anderson. You know, the heavyweight starting to mix it up. I think I seen a glimpse of Shaw and Ajabe getting ready to go at it. We seeing the Juggernaut over there across the pond. Joe Joyce getting worked up. Dubois getting worked up. Usyk and Fury getting ready to get it on for undisputed. There's all these heavy talks about Wilder and AJ. We got a lot to look forward to. I just think for the boxing community and as a boxing fan, I think that it'd be easy if we was on the same sheet of music. Whether you rock with the people I rock with the people you rock with. Truth is the truth is the truth, and the standard should be the standard. It shouldn't be, oh man, because yeah, I think this fighter might beat this. Nah, when you judge, you got to look at numbers. You got to look at what they bring to the table. You can't say it's cool for Spence and Jermell Charlo to forego having a trainer because you're gonna make Derrick James, you know, you're gonna make him pick, and then what? He gonna get double paid? Like, how does that work? He would get paid, like he wouldn't get paid, but he trains both fighters. It just don't make no sense. On Earl Spence, first time going to 54, but no energy for Shakur when he first time at 35. No energy for him and Devin to fight right now. It just don't make sense. And y'all say that they boys. Well, they train, they iron sharpen iron each other like every day because they working with Derrick James, and you can see it rubbing off on Frank. But I just wonder, is we gonna keep the same energy, man, or we gonna get rid of some of this shit that we got going on? We gonna get rid of some of the sensationalism that we do. I seen an interview with Lou DiBella the other day, man. I just couldn't help it. It was like me and him had a conversation, man. I don't even know the dude. I don't even know him, but he was telling me, not the part about boxers getting overpaid. I can look at it because I've been in several different businesses, had several different businesses, know about numbers and all that. And from a big scheme, I'm not saying that boxers know their worth and they should get paid, but a lot of the things he was saying from how boxers are getting paid so much to do the certain things that they're able to do, and they know that they're on paths to where they don't have to fight the best. They know that. They know how to avoid it. You know, he was saying that, hey, if boxing locked itself up and had, you know, a standard and how people get put in the rankings, but people acknowledge rankings when they want to, because people real quick to acknowledge David Avanesian in the rankings when he popped up and Bud chose him. Oh man, he was number 6. Oh, he was number. I'm like, what? But when Cruz fought Tank, they were like, oh man, who was that? And he was in the rankings. Like it just be different, man. It just be different. Like when Caleb Plant had his one little belt and he was just saying, hey, I want a proper camp and I want 10 million. Everybody was on his neck. I saw all kind of like Caleb Plant hate. They was on his neck. It was all just jumping and cheering for Ginger and saying, oh man, and saying Caleb was scared and all kind of crazy stuff, right? So Bud move up, he fight Horn. He don't really do nothing else, but you know, he had a couple names in there, you know what I'm saying? But they weren't the same as when they fought before. No fighter is. But when you bring up that point, you're a hater. Hadn't done anything. There's no pressure for him to come on in with his belt. Everybody justifying it because of a bigger bag. I said we got to be careful with what we condone for a bigger bag, because look at what happened to some of these people in the music industry. We condone and let them get away with stuff because we didn't say nothing, and always say that silence is consent, and we didn't say anything. But look what happened, because you had a feature with them, because you stood to gain money with them, because you could have went platinum or gold or silver, whatever it is, diamond, for doing a feature with them. You swept away everything else that was going on. Why? Because he was making a bigger bag. See, that bigger bag thing, man, that means that everybody's for sale. Some people can't be bought. Some people can't be bought. Some people, it just, you know, if the number's big enough, they're gonna jump out the window. So we gotta stop with that bigger bag, man, because we just had Jose Ramirez say that he didn't want to fight Regis Prograis because the bag wasn't big enough. I'm like, hold on, you don't have the belt? Regis got the belt. What do you mean? Go beat the man. You just went to a tie with Pedraza. So you're not going to fight Regis for a bigger bag and they're going to pay you more money to go fight Comey, who Tio already knocked out? Go fight Tio. But we'll do a whole video about how he justified because of the bigger bag. No. That's not how that should be working, guys. That's not how that should be working, guys. If you think so, then you don't know. I'm just like, don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know. But yeah, man. We gonna drop some of this shit off, man. We gonna drop off some of this double standard shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I try to be even, just like Frank Martin. When he went out, put on a beautiful performance, right? And I had a true 50-50, you know what I'm saying? I had a true 50-50. I ain't gonna make no excuses for Michelle Rivera. They talk about the rank, the weight, you know what I'm saying, the weight drain and you know, him training before in between his last fight, right? And they say that you know, he was having issues, but Frank Martin go out there, he put on a beautiful performance, right? On Brian Custer, he says that he knows that Tank got 2 fights on deck, and that this other part, he said, this is coming from Frank. He knows that Devin is, you know, he got a fight with Loma, which Devin don't have a fight with Loma. This is not official yet. He don't. He said, but he knows that, right? But after his victory, he calls out Tank and Devin. And then he say Rolly. So we might get a Rolly. Salute to Mr. Kurtwood. Yo. Yeah, so we might get a Rolly, but I'm like, how do you... Okay, so you know them guys had a fight, but then you call them out. Why you didn't call out Isaac Cruz? No, because you're just going to rest on the fact that Isaac Cruz wants Devin or a rematch with Tank. You know, we can't let Isaac Cruz get away with that either, man. But long story short, it's looking like Ortiz wanting to smoke, man. You know, Ortiz, man, he fought Jamel Herring, he fight Loma, and then if he fights Shakur, he building up his resume at 35. He coming in on fire with them names. It's like he already understand he need to fight. He ready to get right back in there, win, lose, or draw. He lost, you know, you lose your O, you get right back in there, you ready to go. That's the spirit. So right now, I would say, man, maybe Ortiz might be the most spirited fighter right now. You know, I would like to see, you know, De Los Santos. that bad man who ran up, you know what I'm saying, and got my man Villanueva out of there. I would like to see him and Frank Martin. I would like to see him and Isaac Cruz. He say Isaac Cruz is easy work. Do we know what De Los Santos is? Yeah, I mean, we kind of do. He's 16-1 with 15 knockouts. You know, do we know? I think we kind of do know. Now, with a proper camp, knowing that you're going to fight him, knowing, you know, because he did go to the campus, but he got, out of 17 fights, he got 15 KOs. So, that's kind of serious. But I think we got a lot to look forward to, man. It's a lot of things we got to clean up in the boxing community. Mainly, you know, we got to get on one accord about what's acceptable and what's not. Now, we can't be muting people and trying to muzzle people or whatever, but as far as clown behavior, we need to be uniform in what's clown behavior. You know what I'm saying? If you got a promoter out there pocket watching, a lot of guy mentioned talking about what's in another trainer's pocket and this and this and that, and he don't even got a fight on deck, and you know, it's all these questionable moves. You know, we gotta be on one accord and say, man, right is right and wrong is wrong. Because it was good for the goose, gotta be good for the gander. But we gotta, you know what I'm saying, we gotta put everybody on the scale the right way. And if you think that your favorite fighter don't have no flaws, no weaknesses, you think they invincible, if you got the knee pads out, the tonsil jewelry, the throat coat, your bib, you know, if you got all that on, man, every time you talk about your favorite fighter, man, you might want to go and do your research and your homework, man. A lot of people hating on Inoue right now. And it's like greatness because of a name, because of somebody's list. What if at his first inception, they didn't say top 10 pound for pound? What if they didn't say top 10? What if they said, well, what if when it first came out, what if when this concept first came out, they said top 15 pound for pound? Y'all still would be arguing that somebody on there shouldn't be and somebody that's on there should. We just gotta get, if we get on one accord, man, maybe we can save it, man. Because Lou DiBella, he talked about how, you know, the game is losing casuals and people are more, a lot of people have migrated to UFC. Shit, it be hurt my heart sometimes, man. Teddy's passion for UFC is more than boxing. I'm like, man, this man that I used to know, man, they used to be in the corner, used to be talking to Mike, you know what I'm saying? The one that, you know, was talking to Tim Bradley about the fireman, you know, and all that. He got more passion for UFC right now than boxing. It's a niche sport, man, but we got soft ass fans. I said I'm coming out with that KY jelly, you know what I'm saying? It's not meant for what you think it's used for. It's for when, you know, you in a debate or an argument and they get ready to move them goalposts. You just apply it liberally and they're not going to be able to use it. You know, it's gonna come with a little pair of scissors because when they move these goalposts, they be having back brace, so you can apply the jelly to the goalpost, and as they try to move it, you can use the scissors to cut the back brace off. They're gonna be all the way fucked up, and then do some body work, and you gonna get them up out of there. But I think it's been a good year, man. I think that if you don't need to take anything or anybody into this new year with you, don't take them. Drop them off. You know what I'm saying? Drop them off, man. If you got to cut sling low with anybody, man, if you got to, any bad habits, you could have made a terrible video. You could be ashamed of yourself for some shit you put out this year. Some shit that you just put out a couple hours ago. But if you see this video and you're like, damn, I'm ashamed of myself, you can stop that shit in 2022. You don't got to take it in 2023. You know what I'm saying? This all you got to do is be like, man, nah, I ain't going to be on that bullshit no more. You know what I'm saying? And then walk in 2023. If you know you just be calling out fighters and you got an agenda because you get paid, you know what I'm saying, to push this agenda and all that, just understand you're going to have to use your knees later. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need your throat later, man. Preserve some of that throat. Because I'm about to come out with some BodyWork tea bags. You know what I'm saying? With some lifting, some eucalyptus in it. You know what I'm saying? Some other shit. But I'm excited about the Caleb Plant David Benavidez fight. You know, I think that the interview I seen of David Benavidez yesterday, I was really impressed with the answers. I like the I like the Mr. Kurtwood said too cold. I would like to I like what he said on the interview. I like the fact that he sound mature, man. He sound mature. I not that I would like more humility, but man, it's different. I told y'all, man, when they get ready for the rubber to meet the road, and you know you've been the benefit of being able to just have people just hinge on every word and give you the benefit of the doubt for so long. At some point, you're gonna have to get in there and face what you've been saying, right? And this is the other double standard. Can we let this go? Can we? If you did a video about this, right, can you put that shit down and cut that bullshit out in 2022? Because I said this, look, let's think about the last accident that Earl had. The last accident that Earl had, right, the devastating one, the one that everybody was running around with all these lies talking about he might not walk again and all this, and, you know, all these guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these reports, articles, all this bullshit coming out. During that time, Bud came on and said, Earl, you better not fight me next. Earl said, tune up? I'll make your favorite fighter look like a tune up. Went in there and put paws all over Danny Garcia. Right? Then he went and he put paws all over Ugas. Right? They had to stop it medically or over the bone. You know what I'm saying? I heard a little bit of something about some cracked ribs. That's why I call him Mr. Rib Eye. He'll take your orbital bone and crack your ribs. Tough customer. That's why I call him the machine. I want to see the machine versus the closer. This accident, you know what Bud said? Are you going to spin the block? But I made a comparison. I said, man, the same reason why we like these boxers inside the ring, the same lifestyle they have outside the ring. Same kind of thing they do outside the ring. Same kind of people they are outside the ring. So how everybody say Jamal Charlo is all, you know, he passionate, outspoken. You can't say nothing, full of angry. He fight valiantly, passionate, all that inside the ring. And that's why we love him inside the ring. But he's polarizing, switch hitting, left, right. You know what I'm saying? Switching it up, blah, blah, blah. Outside the ring, polarizing. Don't fight. You better not fight me next. Moved over to, are you going to spin the block? That's different energy, man. We gotta draw a line right in the middle. Put that shit on the scale, and if it's a hair off, we gotta cut that shit off. We gotta stop pushing narratives, man. Then we gotta look at this the other one. I said, look, man, Derrick James got a guy at 154 that got undisputed, right? He got another guy that got 3 of them things, so he's 3/4 undisputed. You looking at Bowack, you looking at the track record, you looking at what Jamel Herring did, you listening to him in the coach saying, oh man, you just gotta fight this motherfucker next. He in the ring talking, oh man, you just gotta fight this motherfucker. But people are quick to put out how Teofimo's dad said, hey, you got knocked down, Poppy. They quick, but Bomac was in the corner saying, hey man, you just gotta fight this motherfucker now. No real tutor. You hear Derrick James saying, get behind the jab, go back to the body, get off the ropes. Do not allow him to be on the ropes. Move. You know what I'm saying? Get behind your jab, then go to the body. And when you come back, go finish off upstairs. Like, you hear him coaching, making adjustment. Nobody want to talk about the fact that Derrick James pretty much got, what, 7? Let's just say 7 belts out of the 8. Omac over there looking, they look with that one little belt, man, and you know, no Boots, no Keith Thurman, no Danny Garcia, no Virgil. When Virgil got in the ring and he beat my man down there in Maurice Hooker. He got out there and said Bud was right there in the stands. He said, hey Bud, you know what I'm saying, blah blah blah, I want you. Bud looked around like, he don't want it. And everybody let him do that. But we hear more stuff about how Earl Spence don't want undisputed. We got to cut that out. Like, if I get in the ring and say your name and then I send you a contract and then you say you accept everything, but then you go grab, quote unquote, a bigger bag and it comes out to where, you know, people don't even believe that's a bigger. We got to cut that shit out. Can we leave that shit right here in 2022? Can we leave that right here in 2022? We don't got to take that into 2023. We don't got to do all that. I just thought, man, maybe, I'll come out here and express some things, man. I think that silence is consent. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to this, in this game, we're going to poke and pry and get these boxers to try to say, incredulous things about these other boxers. You damn right. We got an opportunity, and we should be able to say something about our peers who make content, who be on some bullshit. Point blank, period. It don't matter how big your name is, no matter what you bring, because, a lot of people sprinkle a lot of bullshit in the game, and they don't know how to use their resources. They have any and everybody on there, but their whole thing is to pry out something salacious. When you don't got to do that, you just let people be who they are. You know what I'm saying? You try to get them and you put up the same standard and argument to get the best fight, the best. Everything you need is going to come out. You don't got to manufacture the drama. You don't got to put fuel on it. The boxers and the true animosity and the best fighting the best is going to do that in itself. I just thought I'd get on here, man, and just say, it's been a wonderful 2022. You know what I'm saying? I think last time I checked, I had like 379. I thought I was going to hit 380. And then I did 2 videos and I dropped down to 377. And then last time I checked, I was at 378. I wanted to get to 380. And you know why that number is important to me? Because this channel is not bought and paid for. There's no agenda. There's no agenda. If you tell me my fighter did some bullshit, I'm be like, yeah, he did. You know what I'm saying? This is how I'm seeing it. We got to consider this. We got to do this. But I'm going to be like, yeah, man, that shit was crazy what he did. I'm not going to lie. I don't own a set of knee pads. I got throat coat for sale. I got lip chap for sale. I got tonsil jewelry. It's for sale. I'm the president, but I'm not a client. You know what I'm saying? I don't use the product. That's rule number 1, baby. But I thank y'all. I call y'all the kidneys, man. Thanks for rocking with the kidneys, man. We do body work over here. If you need some graphics, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to do graphics for people. You know what I'm saying? You want a background, holler at me. You want me to advertise a product? Holler at me. I work with your budget. I'm flexible. I'm a perfectionist. And if I can help you, I'm going to help you. If you want to collab, reach out. But be on your shit. You know what I'm saying? Iron sharpens iron. And I always say, it's boxing minds over boxing mouths. I always say this, man. Look, when it comes to Halloween and New Year's, if you go out and about on Halloween and New Year's and something happen, man, you kind of got to take ownership, man. It's best to kind of stay low. Get low. You know what I'm saying? Get with your lady. You know what I'm saying? You're a lady, get with your guy. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, enjoy each other, bringing the New Year's, doing something positive, something uplifting. And just if you did some bullshit in 2022, I'm gonna look at you with a fresh set of eyes in 2023. You know what I'm saying? But thanks for everybody who took time out to actually watch this video, who take time to come back on a regular basis. Subscribe to your boy, man. A different set of eyes. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to like everything. You ain't got to agree. I do have my rants. I do have my time when I go off. But it's all for the love of boxing. It's all to see the best fight the best. And I know that these are young people who get hit in the head for a living. And I look at it as a person who experienced a lot of the things that they've experienced. So I judge accordingly. So I don't just come out and shit on anybody. I just want to be more communal in that. Like, I might be that uncle that be like, I'm 42. I might be that uncle that be like, nah, man, that's some bullshit. Because the OGs, they ain't doing it. The OGs, they kind of worse right now when it comes to this boxing shit. I hear coming out of them. Nah, man, it's a new way. Like, it's a new way, man. And we ain't got to do that. We can uplift fighters. We can still create memorable moments. And we can get the fights that we want. We ain't got to compromise. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all my likes. Thanks for all my new subscriptions here at BodyWork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.